Hi guys, it's Nika. Welcome back to my channel for another makeover of my old not so berry Sims. Today we are moving on to the orange generation, generation number 6 I believe. And today I will be making over a couple of besties. And this is not me being like, they were roommates, you know what I mean? No, they were actually just best friends who got married for financial benefits. In the game, they got the call that, a relative left you some money. I don't know, and you have to choose like if you accept it, like yes, money, give me under what conditions, and then the last option obviously is that you don't accept it. So with these two, I did actually accept it, and they had to get married, and I like to imagine that they really just went, we live together, we are very close, we are not seeing anyone, let's just get married, like it's gonna be worth it for us. So they got married, they got the money, and then they stayed together forever. They were literally best friends forever. So my heir, the child of Vi and Prince from last Friday's video, is Bloom. Their pronouns are they, them, and I kind of want to go on this long rant about just because someone's style is very feminine, just because someone presents in a feminine way, sort of, doesn't mean that they are female. Nope, they are non-binary, they, them, and I'm not gonna go on my whole huge rant because I would really like to, because this is something I feel really strongly about, but I feel like maybe we should talk more about the characters. So yeah, my heir, Bloom, they, them, they are the orange sim. They like bacon, they do crime. They were actually in a jail for a little bit in my storyline. They also canonically had beef with Caleb Bator. They just didn't like each other for whatever reason. I'm not really sure, but whenever I had them interact, it didn't really work and they were mean to each other. Well, it was more like Bloom was mean to Caleb, but whatever, it's fine. And as you can probably already tell from the video, Bloom's style is very much, they want to burn your eyes. They dress in very bright colors, obviously mainly orange, but they also really like rainbow patterns and colorful patterns, and sometimes their style is kind of giving oversized toddler in the best way. They also really like to be comfy, so they like a lot of sweatpants and white pants, and I really loved putting their style together. Sure, it is kind of awful. You would not catch me wearing anything like this. It is too colorful for me. I feel like it will be too colorful for literally anyone. But it's their style and they look great in it, and you can tell they really enjoy dressing like that. And they make it work. They really make it work, and I can't imagine dressing them in any other way. I'm trying to think if there's anything specifically about them that I would like to point out, or if we should move on to their partner, or their best friend and legal wife slash husband. I think we will just move to Lola and then we can talk about the generation as a whole if there will be time, which I think there will be. So Bloom's wife slash husband slash certified bestie is Lola Fierro. He pronouns, they switch between these two. Sometimes it's she, sometimes it's he. Usually it's signified by a bracelet they are wearing. If the bracelet is orange, it's a she, her day. If the bracelet is green, it's a he, him day. But generally, they don't really mind if someone messes up. And as long as you're not doing it like deliberately. Who's calling me now? Oh, it's my mom. Hold up. I have to pick this up. look at that, I'm talking about pronouns, and my mom needed help with pronouns. She needed help with how the declension of a certain pronoun works. And I was like, hold up, I don't remember this either. Don't worry about this. Czech is a difficult language, okay? I don't remember all the rules, and I studied this language. Anyway, back to Lola. So, I don't know where I was. I was talking about pronouns, I know about that, but let's just say Lola is gender fluid. Sometimes it's a she, her day, sometimes it's a he, him day, sometimes it's not even a whole day. They just kind of go between these two, switch between these two. Are you kidding me? Okay, apparently I'm Google now. They just called me again from mom's work. She and her coworker are doing something. Where was I with Lola? Can I please finish it now? They are gender fluid. We're gonna end it at that. And for this video, let's say that today is a she, her day for Lola, okay? So I'm gonna stick to these pronouns for now. And yeah, so Lola is Bloom's best friend since childhood. They knew each other basically since the beginning of their lives, because their parents, Vi and Lola's mother, Mackenzie, were friends from university. They were roommates, actually. And they were actually roommates, just roommates, nothing else. So they knew each other since then, and then when they had children, their children played together and all that. Lola is actually one of three. Mackenzie and her husband had triplets. I am not able to tell you her siblings' names right now, but Lola has two siblings, and Lola was the closest to Bloom, although Bloom also was friends with the other two siblings, but not as close as they were with Lola. And Lola is very artsy, so it was really no surprise when she decided to study art in the city. Bloom and Lola moved to the art district because Lola's school was in that district. I guess that makes sense, and I don't know why I'm explaining it like that. And yeah, so while Bloom was working and doing their illegal stuff, Lola was going to art school, and when she graduated, she became an art critic. And I think it was actually Lola who got the call about the money, and she accepted, and then obviously she had to get married fast, which she wasn't really sure about because she never really wanted to get married. She is aromantic and asexual, and she was pretty content living with her best friend. And when she told Bloom, or I'm not really sure how exactly it went, but yeah, so they learned about the marriage thing, and Bloom was very much like, yeah, let's go, let's do it, let's get married for this money. And it's really worked out well for both of them, because as I was saying earlier, they weren't seeing anyone, neither of them, and they were really close friends. And yeah, so this kind of made them certified besties, and they would not have it any other way. As for Bloom's sexual orientation, or like if they would ever want to marry someone they are romantic with, I don't know. I never said it in the legacy, I don't think, and I don't really have a set sexual orientation for Bloom in mind, so that's up to your interpretation. But they were very happy married to their best friend, and they didn't really need anyone else. This relationship, I guess, queer platonic. Is this a queer platonic relationship? I think it is. So yeah, this relationship was very good to them, and they would never want anything else. Also, after a little bit in this relationship, a little bit after they were officially married, they started talking about children, and sort of they were like, well, so like let's try it. Like, what could possibly go wrong? Or I don't know. I'm making things up right now. That's not how it was. But yeah, eventually they had children together. That was probably the only time they tried being romantic together, I guess. And yeah, they had 2 children. And very much in Bloom's fashion and also in my name and fashion, they had some really interesting names. These 2 guys. I mean, these 2 babies. A girl and a boy. The girl was named Candy, which is probably not that bad for the pink generation. And the boy was named Bambi, which is not bad for a toddler, but then you realize he grew up to be an adult man. A CEO, actually. Imagine you go meet a CEO of a corporation and his name is Bambi. Yeah. But we will talk more about Bambi and his wife next week, and then we will also talk more about Candy and her wife later. Today is about Bloom and Lola, their parents. The orange generation of this legacy was really a weird time for me because I started losing interest in this legacy and I didn't really put any effort into storylines or anything here. I also played it at a very weird time. The pandemic was still going on. I was very stressed out from school, and also I feel like Generation 6 in any legacy is just cursed for me. In my Sims 3 Rose Legacy, when I got on Gen 6, that generation took me like 3 years to complete. And after that, I was like, you know what, I don't really want to go on. Recently, in my Sims 3 Legacy, the Generation 6 also took me like a whole year to finish, and the last few times when I opened it, I was just waiting for one particular sim to die so I can move on to the next generation. But we got through, and my Not So Berry continued to Pink Gen and the Peach Gen and the Green Gen. And eventually we will actually be starting the Blue Gen. But I think we are getting at the end of the video, so I will not have time to talk about Bloom and Lola anymore. But there's probably not really much to say about them. I think I said all the important stuff. Did I mention Bloom was in jail? Yeah, that's how the Pink generation started. The very first post of the Pink generation was like, so Bloom is in jail. And I played with just their children and Lola for a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to go now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked these Sims. If you did, you can read the legacy on my Tumblr. And I will see you all next time. I love you guys. Bye everyone.